Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. It's time for the On Your Now show. I am your host, Tracie Berry-McGhee, also known as Divine T.
And I'm your co-host, Yolonda Lankford. You know what they call me, Lady Yo.
Lady Yo, today we have an exclusive. Aren't you excited?
So excited. We have our first Thanksgiving special on the On Your Now show.
That's right, you guys. Get ready because we have the NFL Hall of Famer, Pastor Arthur Aeneas Williams. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. And as promised, we welcome our Tell Me Something Good guest of the day, NFL Hall of Famer, Arthur, pastor of the Spirit Church, Aeneas Williams. Pastor Aeneas Williams, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning. It's so glad to be here. Thank you so much for having me on your show, On Your Now. Let's get going.
So doesn't he sound like a football player?
Yes, he does.
Let's go. It's game time.
Let's go.
It's game time. Well, first, we have to ask you, what gets you going? What's in your cup?
What gets me going, what's in my cup is, and I saw this, you guys requested bring your cup, right? So I went purchase a cup. And I decided to put literally what drives me, and that's purpose.
Okay.
Purpose.
Yeah, so what's in my cup? And it was ironic that you guys talk a lot about the cup. I think about Jesus' life. And the disciples there are two disciples that decided, two brothers. They were requesting to be in positions of authority, one on Jesus' right hand, one on the left. Jesus said, can you drink the cup for which I'm going to drink from? He was talking about his suffering.
Yes.
So when I think purpose, and when you guys think about the cup, I know what comes with being who I am as a pastor.
Okay.
The good and the bad.
Yes.
And so when it comes down to purpose, can you handle what's in the cup?
Oh, we already getting it. Can you
let's
get
go.
us in the cup?
Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go. We're in the first
This is
quarter.
the perfect Thanksgiving
I love it.
So you're in the 14 NFL seasons, Hall of Famer, pastor, husband, father, community leader. I want to say thank you for saying yes to us on Thanksgiving, because you could be anywhere, but you chose to be with us this morning for a brief time. But talk to us. We're going to talk faith, football, family, but faith, for me, that's just so important. Talk to us about why faith is so important.
Faith is so important. You and I talking prior to getting on the show. I said, how did you guys end up putting all of this together on your now? And then you talked about the work that you were doing and how you were half in when you started, right? And you said that, man, God don't want me doing anything halfway.
That's right.
It's just like playing football. You cannot be on a football field thinking about other things. You can't be halfway. So when it comes down to faith, it is real simple. It's not just people of faith in terms of Christ followers. It's really that each and every person, God has already finished their purpose before they got here.
I say that all the
Right?
time. Your scroll is written.
And I was going to share with you, but I want to do it on air. This is a divine name on your now. Faith means now. It means now.
Goodness.
And so many times, I sit here with a cup that many know not of. You hear the titles, you hear the introductions, but the pain, the times where you think about quitting, the times where you see greatness in people who don't see it in themselves.
Yes.
And just knowing these things. So when I think of faith, I need every person to know that they're not an accident.
Right.
They didn't
That
get
part.
I was about to say that part.
Come on,
Yes.
come on. That
Part. Yes. Amen. People in the back.
We're going to put the people in the back.
But so go back to the faith part. That in my faith as relates to biblically,
Yes.
is knowing that there's an invisible God who has created that which is visible.
Yes.
And that simply means faith means now. Now faith is. So what happens? What does Jesus say? He says, why are you worrying about tomorrow?
Yes.
He said tomorrow has its own things coming up.
Yes.
Then he said, why you brag about what you're going to do tomorrow? You don't know if you're going to live till tomorrow.
You
right?
don't.
Yes.
Yes. Don't.
So what I am learning, because you have to learn this, I heard you talk about it. I'm in the moment today.
Yes. That's
I am honored. I have prayed, you've prayed, others have prayed.
Absolutely.
That got us here, right?
Yes.
Thanksgiving. So many times throughout the New Testament, the Apostle Paul gives thanks.
Yes.
And thanks is thinking. Think about that.
Preach, Pastor.
All right.
Preach, Pastor.
We're here in this moment.
Thankful,
I need my journal. I
right?
gotta take
I'm
notes.
thankful. I'm telling you guys, like your graphics are beautiful. Like the person who did it, thank you.
We think
Yes.
yes.
Right?
That's right.
So in the now, it's a choice. It's a choice as to our perspective, as to what has happened in our lives that determine how we live our lives.
you know, I'm here. I'm here.
For it all.
Right. And I was watching one of the sermons and you spoke about, you did a whole, like he literally lays everything out for you to see it. But you talked about the difference between believing and knowing.
Yes.
And I think that's where that all starts. Can you just tap into the know?
Right.
Because that's exclusive
Well, the
thing
first
right
thing
there.
is believing. We can take someone who, Aeneas, let's do Aeneas. Because the greatest motivation is your story. God gets the glory, though.
Absolutely.
Of the story, right?
Yes, he does.
Yes, it does.
So, the first to believe this, that no matter how you got here,
Right.
you have a purpose.
Yes,
Right.
indeed.
And God intended for you to be here.
Right.
That's the first thing. You got to believe that, right?
Yes.
Kind of like the disciples. Jesus was on a boat asleep. A storm comes up. And I mean, it's serious.
Yes, it is.
Like this, like hurricane force, right? They panic because they don't know the love of God. They don't know that Jesus is on the boat, and if he on the boat, we're not going down.
Absolutely.
I don't care what you're going through. I don't care how all hell break loose, even of your own doing.
Yes.
If I'm there,
We good.
no, I can trust. So first thing
No.
you mentioned, first thing I have to believe.
Yes.
Number one, he said, go to the other side, right?
Right.
I have to believe when he said, go to the other side, he's going to make sure I get there.
Trust.
No matter what. So,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So first thing I believe that. So
Yes.
the second thing now, the knowing is through
Yes.
prior experiences. I've been in some storms,
Yes.
right?
And I know
Yes.
that he got me. I know he got me.
Right? Yeah. So the knowing part is you've acted on what you believe.
That's
when
right.
you had this show and this conception, you had to now talk about it, which is the first step. Then you had to act on
Yes,
it.
sir.
Had to. I had no
yes,
choice.
sir. And through those storms, there's a song, "My Soul's Been Anchored."
Yes.
You have to know you've been anchored.
Yes.
That's right.
And what is it? No matter what way the winds blow, my
We are-
soul's been anchored. And that's what I say about our show is we know we're anchored. And so what come with may, we know we are in our purpose. So, and
We're walking
speaking
in
of
our
purpose, you have a book. Talk to us about your book.
Well, first, this book and what's in it is why I've never been booked. And that's a lot about my father and my mother. And I never had to look outside my house for a role model.
There you go.
My mom and dad and my two older brothers. I'm the youngest of three, grew up in Holly Grove, New Orleans,
Yes.
from the same area where Lil Wayne from. All of us come from different areas in Holly Grove.
Okay.
My dad's accountability and the understanding of it, that it takes respect is about submitting to authority. And authority is God's plan to protect our lives.
Yes.
So I don't know how much I may have shared my story before in the past. I went to the Southern University, historical
right.
black college and university.
Yes, shout out to Southern,
right?
our rival. I'm a Gramblinite.
Oh, I won't hold that against you. We're not even talking. This show on Thanksgiving. It's Bayou Classic.
Yes, it
Saturday after
is.
Thanksgiving.
Yes.
I didn't know that. No, but seriously. So going back to this book, and it's been written a long time ago. I need to do a update to it. I can almost cry when I think of this book. So go back to Southern University Division I AA. I didn't play football until my junior year in college.
That's right. That's
I walked
right.
on 2 weeks before it started, going back to purpose. I found that once you get to purpose, prior to that, Achilles, my brother, I followed him.
Yes.
Numbers guy, accountant. He's a CPA today, loves numbers. I majored in accounting only because of him. I don't even like numbers, right? So, but I'm saying that because all the young people who's going to hear this, young ladies hear this, or whoever sees this show, you have to find your purpose.
Absolutely.
And I found when I got on the football field, even though I hadn't played for 2 years,
Right.
it was like I was born to be there.
That's it. They say that part. That's what they say. That part. Well, look, you know, we say 40 and over, but that part, that's for us to get. Wow. You know, reaching the potential. I know that one of the things you also say is you start with the beginning in mind and die empty. And I was just listening to that over and over again. And I'm like, that's where I am. I want to leave it all.
Yeah,
I want to leave it all. With families struggling right now, a lot of people are dealing with grief. This is the holiday season. Being a pastor, you and Pastor T, like everything that you all do is about community. Talk to us about how do we get through this pandemic and feel like we can literally put it all on the table and be able to die empty.
One, to understand that it is what it is. This is not just a pandemic that's hit the United States.
Yes.
This is something that's hit the world.
Oh, yes, indeed.
And once that happens now, I like to say during the middle of a game, things happen in a game. And I mean, sometimes we down by 20 points. I mean, it could be bad. But still at the end of the day, when I was playing here with the Rams, Kurt Warner, our quarterback, we knew on defense, no matter how bad the game was, if we gave Kurt and the offense an opportunity at the end of the game, we would probably win.
Okay.
So the first thing as it relates to what's happening now is perspective.
Perspective.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's being honest with ourselves. Hey, yeah, man, I am having some challenges.
Yes. Right.
I may not be having a good day, but I want to encourage people to own their now. Here's what I mean. A lot of times if somebody having a good day, you say, how you doing? Oh, I'm having a good day. Oh, if they're not having a good day, how you doing? Oh, I'm not doing so well. And they will detail
Yes.
how bad things are, right?
Yes.
But we don't do that
For the good
good
for the
side.
good.
Yes, true.
Right? We don't do that. That takes intentionality.
Yes, it
and
does.
that causes us to help each other.
Yes.
Because we all are dealing with this
We all are.
in
Yes, we
different
are.
ways.
Yes, we are.
So the other thing are honest conversations.
True.
To have somebody in our lives or someone in our lives
Yes.
that we can be honest with.
Be transparent. That's everything.
Authenticity.
It is.
Authenticity. I
Yes.
mean, that everything you have said is true because I often tell people, you say, how's your day? I'm having a bad day. You're having a bad moment. Don't let that moment derail
Define
you from
your
your
whole
day.
day.
Yeah,
Okay?
yes,
All day.
Yes.
and that has to be our fallen nature, because if people we really sit down Thanksgiving,
Yes.
sit down, if we really look, even in this country, man, I know people may say, well, look, you could say that. Oh no, you don't know what's in this cup.
Right.
That's right.
So people make judgments,
know.
right?
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah,
Story.
they
Yes.
see your lights here, right?
Yes.
You guys are gorgeous. You,
Oh,
right?
thank you.
Yeah, so
It's a lie.
people thinking, oh, they got it all going on. They don't know your
What's in
story.
your cup? They
Right?
don't.
Right? And then when
don't know
people say,
what's
how
in
you
our
doing? How you doing? You really don't want to hear
All
how
of that.
it's really going. But the truth is to remind each other, to give thanks. I'm thankful to be here.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
that's
I
important.
am
Wonderful.
thankful to have my wife Tracie,
Yes,
even
indeed.
though we've been through storms.
Yes, but you're anchored
all have.
though. You're
We all
anchored
have.
though, but you're
Yes.
anchored
Yes,
though.
because
Yes.
you know what you know that you know that you know.
Yes, so you don't-
Speaking of being anchored, look.
Well, you know, I want to ask this question.
Yes,
you know,
come on with
because
it.
you know, we done got the
we
halftime.
on a boat. We ready to.
As the hometown,
halftime, we're ready.
as the hometown artist says, it's getting hot in here. Come on.
Yes,
Come on,
yes,
come
it's
on.
getting hot
Shut
in
up,
here.
Nelly, right?
I want to know, what would you tell your 21-year-old self? What would you say to 21-year-old Aeneas?
Wake everybody up.
Yes,
get them
wake
out.
up.
All the college
The
students
word,
that's
the
home
word.
for Thanksgiving.
I go back to this book, and this has nothing to do with plugging it. I would tell my 21-year-old self, listen to your mentors.
Yes.
And mentors are credible, successful others who've already done well what you're trying to do.
That
And a mentor is not somebody that gives you advice. A mentor is somebody's advice you follow.
Say that again.
that part, yeah,
A
clearly.
mentor is not somebody that gives you advice. A mentor is somebody's advice you follow.
Yes,
You get it?
indeed.
I got it.
I got it. I'm going to make a touchdown.
got it.
I'm
I got
going to
it.
get a
And
touchdown.
one caveat to younger people, a mentor is not always somebody that's older.
True.
I had a guy named Brian Thomas who was a junior in college with me at Southern. He was like a Usain Bolt. Brian was 6'3", played on the football team. He was the fastest guy on the football team. He was also the fastest guy on the track team. When the coach said that Aeneas Williams, my senior year, probably will not play in the NFL because he's not fast. He runs a 4.640. And that was after the Bayou Classic. We had upset your beloved Graham. Let's put that out on tape.
Okay.
The late Coach Eddie Robinson,
Yes, sir.
right, who inspired
sir.
me, believe it or not, to learn public speaking. When my coach, after we upset, this was in the New Orleans newspaper, he put this. And when I read it, instead of getting upset, because a number of people, I want to say this, do not live your life to prove people wrong, right? Don't live your life with not goals. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to be like my dad, right?
Yes.
When I read that, that gave me a direction. And that was to Brian Thomas, who was like my Usain Bolt. All my life, ladies, and this is where God, the faith, the impossible. All my life, I'd been known as to be a slow guy. I ran the mile. I did the pole vault.
Okay.
Right? That's right. An African American did the pole vault, right? And I was always considered slow. But when I read that, I didn't get mad at Coach, because the coach allowed me to walk on.
Absolutely.
He was giving me the facts. Come on, let's stop here for a
All
second.
right. A facts is
He gives us the facts.
Yes.
God gives us the truth.
Woo!
Let me say that one again.
Yes,
Because
yes.
sometimes your facts are facts.
It is.
Yes.
But the truth is,
Yes.
I did run a 4.6.
Okay.
But that assertion and those facts drove me to Brian Thomas.
Gave you direction.
It gave you.
I
direction.
said, Brian,
Give it
and it was Thanksgiving weekend, ironically.
Wow.
Okay.
Brian, can you help me get faster? And this one I learned, ladies, the transference of belief. I'm gonna say it again.
Boy, these nuggets
come on now.
today.
Come on now. Seriously, no,
yes.
seriously.
Listening to
Yes.
Because I am not here to give people cliches,
That's right. It's the truth.
cheerleading, all that's good. But if you can give people principles and laws that works for anybody.
Absolutely.
Doesn't matter color, doesn't matter where you grew up, these laws will work. When I went to Brian, remember now, Brian is younger, 1
Yes.
year younger.
Yes.
He wasn't a great student, but he was he was a guy I could not keep up with. He was so
Wow.
fast. I said, Brian, can you help me get faster? Ladies, he looked at me like I'm looking at you in
And
your
I'm leaning
eyes.
in.
Right.
He says, Aeneas, you can run a 4.340. I say, what? Now I'm thinking, you crazy. Because all my life,
Right,
all my
right.
life, I've
He's
been
looking at
taught
the
either
fact.
you are born with speed,
Wow.
you don't have it. He said it so convincingly. I said, what do I need to do, Brian? He says, Aeneas, next spring semester. Now this is I've already graduated in accounting.
Yes.
I won last year playing football while in graduate school. Brian says, after the new year, the last spring semester, I'm in master school. I'm getting my master's. He says, Brian, walk on the track team. I said, walk on the track team?
Oh my goodness.
He said, Aeneas, what's the big deal? You walked on the football team.
Right. Right.
He said, get this. He said, walk on the track team, get next to me, and do everything I do.
All right
I'm
now.
showing you. I'm
yes,
showing
mentor.
you what I'm
the
showing
mentor.
you.
Why did I go to him? Why did I go? I needed speed.
Yes. And you.
He
had it. Yes, he
I
had
didn't go
it.
to the offensive lineman.
You know, another thing that you speak about, and I know we're wrapping up, is potential. He saw that you had that potential. And
Correct.
sometimes we don't see that inside
Absolutely.
ourselves, but someone else sees that. But the other piece to it is just being the head coach. Like knowing God is as our head coach.
Yes.
So oftentimes we may not have the coaches that we need in that moment, but God is going to lead you to the people that you need, and He
is
led
the
you
head. He
to
is the
Him.
head coach. Absolutely.
Speaking of football, okay.
Can I get one more thing?
Yes,
absolutely.
yes,
When it comes down to mentors, make sure that when you have a mentor like Brian taught me speed. Don't try to get everything
from that one mentor.
from that one mentor.
Okay.
Yes.
You can have
heard that.
multiple mentors in different areas. The mistake I've made in the past is attempting to get something out of a mentor that didn't have that,
I got that.
but had something else.
We should have. I'm writing it all down.
Yes.
Just
So
replay
so
it.
let's go back to Brian.
Yes.
And I really, because this is the story. This is what creates belief in people,
Mm-hmm.
that this is possible. If you sitting around hearing your child, they telling you your child is slow, and you hearing, I want you to hear,
Mm-hmm.
he may never be a Usain Bolt or a Brian Thomas. I never was as fast as he was. But you will be the best you can be.
Absolutely.
The best.
Let me tell you, one of the
best
song
you
we
can
play
be.
all the time is be
Best
your best self.
self. Yes.
Best self. And it is all about the positive things, and it doesn't come in a certain shape, it doesn't come in a
doesn't.
certain height, but you can be your best
Best
self.
self.
And speaking of that, I know Tracie wants to ask the question about the game.
I want to know the predictions, because I mean
All right, I'm exploding. I gotta finish.
tell us. Finish.
So
Yes.
spring semester.
Yes.
All right. Let me please
Go ahead.
bring
Yes,
this in.
take your
I-
time.
Absolutely. Take your time. We're in church.
So
Take your
remember
time.
now, I'm the slowest. And by the way, my teammates, one of the top attorneys in Louisiana, and a number of them that were on the team that saw what happened. I was training on the track team next to Brian. On the track, we running. Coach would give us our track workout. I could not keep up with him. After we finished training, Brian would be walking like he hadn't worked out. I was on the ground wondering if I was gonna live. And I heard my legs say one time, he says, Aeneas, you can keep this up, but we finish.
All right.
At the end of that semester, we're talking about January to
Yes.
April,
That's it.
we had our pro day when the scouts come to time you.
Ooh, I'm about to get
In
excited.
April, I clocked a 4.28.
What?
I just got chills.
say?
Yes.
I was ranked
Won't
the
he do it?
second cornerback in the nation.
Yes.
And this was
testimony.
Brian, who, if you on a college campus, had nothing to do with academics, but he taught me something. And that was the transference of the belief. And God puts what I call sirens in our ears
Yes.
Yes.
to help create belief.
Yes. I call them God winks.
Absolutely.
Yes.
God winks.
My wife
Yes.
said the same
Ah,
thing.
yes,
Same
God
thing,
winks.
past teeth.
Like, yes.
Yeah. So the
That's
game.
it.
The game,
Let's
the
go to
game.
the
No,
game.
okay. And I want to say that it's important that you allow people to finish the story.
Absolutely.
You know, because people often wonder, like, how does it end? And what we're
Thank
seeing, that's how it ends.
Thank you.
know, with
Thank
a new
you.
beginning. Yes. So
Let's go back, you mentioned potential too, in connection with this story. If you had told me in my freshman and sophomore year, hey, Aeneas, you have the ability to be a pro football Hall of Famer. At cornerback, I would have thought you were crazy. I would have fought you for lying to me.
you don't have to. You don't have to.
But yet, the whole time, that potential was inside of me.
Yes.
It's your purpose. That was your purpose.
All right, so here's
That's your
another
purpose.
nugget for your people that's going to hear this. Here's a question for you.
Yes.
I'll answer your last one, but here's a question for you all. If I brought a watermelon here today, put it on this table, give each of you all a knife and whatever tools you need, and I would ask you, could you, and I give you as much time as you need, could you cut the watermelon open and tell me how many seeds physically are in that watermelon?
If we took the time to count them.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes.
That's about
absolutely,
it. That's the only way.
right? And you could.
Yes.
Yes.
But can you tell me how many watermelons are in each seed?
Ooh. Okay. I like that.
Oh, this Thanksgiving, they're gonna all be at the table. All right, y'all. I need y'all to tell me. Okay. We're
That's
gonna figure that out.
potential.
That's
That's
potential.
the potential.
Only God
Thank
knows
you.
that.
Only God knows that. Oh, all right.
So let's get to the game.
Yes, get to the game.
Because I'm not gonna watch the game. I'm just gonna go with the prediction.
Yes,
I'm gonna
yes,
be
yes.
telling my husband, look, I already know.
Got the
who's gonna win.
inside,
Right,
got
right.
the inside track.
What do you think? What's
All
the
right,
prediction?
it's the last game. We will be there in New Orleans. The Saints are playing. It's 3 football games on Sunday. The final game are the Saints against the Buffalo Bills.
Yes.
And the Buffalo Bills are predicted to go to the Super Bowl. But in that dome,
It is different.
with all of these folks,
Yes, those
dances,
Saints, yes.
second lining,
Yes.
Right.
the Bills will pay the bill.
Oh!
In the dome, and the Saints will win.
The Saints
game.
will win.
marching
Yeah, the
in.
Saints
We
will
got
march
this.
in.
Exactly.
That's what
That's
they're going to
it.
do.
That's
Well,
Exactly.
you know, before we end our interview, first, thank you for everything on
Yes.
this Thanksgiving.
Everything.
The nuggets that you gave us are things that we can take and we are going to grow. We're on owning our now.
Yes, we are.
Perfect message. We want to know your affirmation word. What is that one word that means something to Aeneas?
And one word means something to me is purpose. Purpose for being here. Purpose, you started this particular, Andre started the network.
Yes.
Right? Your organization that you have now. Everything has a purpose.
Yes, it does.
Everything has a purpose.
All right.
Everything has a purpose. We got that.
Thank
we got
you.
that.
Thank
we want to
you.
thank your family for saying yes to us, for allowing us to have you for a moment today. We want to thank Pastor Aeneas for joining us today. You all can join him. Can't join him today at the Spirit Church, but you can join him on Sunday. Go to the website, www.thespiritchurch.org. When we return, we will have Sipping Off the Saucer with Shameem, sponsored by Pure Catering and the On Your Now Flow. Oh my goodness, today was absolutely amazing.
Yes.
An awesome interview, was it not,
That was
Shameem?
amazing.
Yes,
He
yes.
brought the word.
He brought the
he
whole
brought the
word.
whole word.
The
Yes.
whole word. You know,
Yes.
speaking of words, I just want to ask our Sipping Off the Saucer, who is our Sipping Off the Saucer for today?
Oh my goodness. We are sipping off the saucer today. This show, oh my God, the energy, our first Thanksgiving special. Oh my
know.
God. And now on to the next first, our first brunch. Shout out to Pure Catering, Pure Cafe at the History Museum. We're going to have our own, you can own your now with us on your now brunch.
Yes, get ready for
December the 12th.
Yes.
Yeah.
December the 12th from 11 to 3 at Pure Cafe STL.
TL. All the information
Yes.
will be coming soon, so get ready. We'll make sure that you have that. So I just want to say, until next time, everybody, make sure that you keep your cups full.
Keep sipping on peace, love, and positivity.
And keep
go
loving
out.
yourselves.
Go
Yes.
out and create some vibrant vibes. This is
Create,
the
yes.
day.
This
Create
is
you
the
some
day.
vibrant vibes.
That's right. And remember, today is a great day to own your now because tomorrow isn't promised. So remember, own your now.
That I would fail. Then I heard you won't prevail. Right here, baby.
The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions.